How's it going, everybody? Our hearts go out to all the players impacted by world events. With that being said, let's go ahead and start the show. This is the FNCS. I've got Levin and Sundown here on the analyst desk hanging out with us today. My friends, it is great to have you here. Boop is under the weather, so for now, Sundown is hanging out with us in Europe. My guys, how are you guys feeling coming into the competition? This is semifinals.
Yeah, this is the most exciting time of the season for a Fortnite fan like myself. Obviously, we got some big games coming up. Top players looking to try and get their way into the finals, and it's going to be a great weekend. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, 16 matches over the weekend. We'll have 16 victory rounds going through and then a bunch of consistent teams. And I mean, I'm just excited for some high-level Fortnite, Zeke.
I know, 3 days of Fortnite action ahead of us, Sundown. We have to talk about a lot of these things. We don't have much time before we're jumping into the battle bus, so we're going to do a little bit of a speed run to get us through the top of the show. Let's start with our broadcast schedule. If you've watched last week, you know we had 2 separated days of qualifiers, but then we came back for this weekend, right? 3 days. We'll be here today, tomorrow, and then Sunday. Next weekend, we will have our finals competition. Make sure to come back and check that out. If you think this action is intense, crazy, and high level, I'm telling you, finals will be only that much more intense. This is it, though, Levin. We've made it to the semifinals.
Yeah, I'm going to do my best to explain this for everyone who maybe doesn't quite understand, but we have 3 days, 3 sessions. The first 2 sessions will have 5 matches in which the top 6 most consistent teams after those 5 games will move through to the finals. But if you win a victory royale in any of the games within a session, you will instantly advance to the next round. So plenty to play for. Of course, we have those 3 sessions, those 3 games. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, and here's how the teams will be earning points. And as Levin mentioned, the Victory Royale, it's not 1,000 points, but it might as well be a 2 ticket directly through the finals. However, at the end of the 5 matches today, our top 6 teams from consistency points will go through, and here's how they earn them. If you watch the qualifiers, it's the same format. First place and point given out at top 35, second one at top 30, then each duo that drops from 25th all the way down to the top 3 will earn you an additional point. Then once you're in the top 3, a nice little +2, +2, +4, and then let's get into the players list.
That's right. Here it is. So as we've kind of alluded to, this is going to be a really unique and special format, right? That Victory Royale means whoever gets it, they're going on through. But then at the end of the day, it's basically a series point leaderboard, right? Whoever has the max points, those players will also move on as well. The top 6 from there. So just looking at this list, you know, Levin, I feel like I did this last week, and it was kind of like a little bit of a shock. But there's still so many big names on here that I feel like I shouldn't even be seeing in a semifinals like list, you know? I feel like, how is someone like Joe and Vino here?
Look, all I will say to you, Zeke, is that there are plenty of players competing in this lobby who have the ability to go out there and win games, let alone top 6 consistency-wise. So plenty of these big names who maybe you're worried about will be well okay in terms of trying to advance to the final.
Yeah, about just given the math, about 75% of the teams we'll see today are likely to make it through to that finals. However, you still have to end up going through the matches and winning the games. So a lot to play for, Zeke.
I know, man. It is absolutely insane. Now, of course, we still have 2 more days of competition, right? So even if a duo can't quite make it into those top 6 spots at the end of the day, they can still come back tomorrow. Remember, we're going to be filling out players from our series point leaderboard, and then that new subset of players will play with the remaining players tomorrow. We'll do that again on Sunday. I know it sounds super complicated. I'm telling you, it's really easy. You guys at home won't have to worry about anything. We're just here to watch some Fortnite and see whoever gets the Victory Royale. But, of course, we're getting closer to that time to jump on that battle bus. Let's talk about predictions very quickly. Then we'll go hang out with our casters for the day. Here they are. I'm starting us off with Joe and Vino, and that's why I asked you guys at the top of the show, like, how are they here? This feels like almost like a filler slot, almost, in that, like, they're gonna guarantee get a victory out, right? Or they're gonna make that top 6 in day number 1. So for me, I feel like this is a no-brainer. Joe and Vino, we will see them in finals. 11-2K, Seti, and Chapix.
Yeah, I'm going to say in Chapix, they're being contested by Coop and Frack, but I do expect them to win that battle. And once they win it, Storm Surge sorted for the game. These guys have the ability to win a game. One of the best duos in the world. Let's do this.
Yeah, and then for my prediction there, Astralis, Thomas HD, and Falcon Tayson. I mean, I'm shocked they're not there, but with only 16 duos having gone through, I expect them to find a gap, and I have no doubt Reese and Shao will be able to elaborate on their picks here shortly, Zeke.
Hey, well, you know what? Let's go with them right now. They can talk about it and prepare us for these next 5 matches. So, friends, over to you.
Thank you so much, Zeke, Levin, and Sundown. It's me, Shai, which is joined by Reese Hub, content creator, analytical mastermind, the legend himself, Reese. We're about to be hitting up this cast. It's been a while, but we're ready.
In a while, like my first broadcast ever was back on the desk, all the way back in Chapter 2, Season 4. It was with you. We're both flipping over right now onto the caster side of things, keeping things different, but it feels like home, right? I feel comfortable here.
Definitely. So I have to predict who's in that, bedroom at home in terms of the players. Who are we kind of interested in looking at passing all the way towards the finals? I think Restart Scram. Reese, what about you?
I mean, there's so many different ones in there. My pick's got to be Janus Vortex right now. Looked a little bit kind of questionable throughout some of the qualifiers. It's a big brain game for a lot of them at the same time. I think if in particular they can stay on their game, not tilt, like we're going to see a huge pop-off, similarly to what we did in kind of the qualifier to that final game where they picked up a 10 elimination victory royale.
Yeah, and the thing about this format is you just need that one game. So all these power duels, all the ones that, you love to have a fandom over, they're going to be in the spotlight, but at the same time, it's only one team per game, right? After that, there's the consistency. So we'll see what breaks down over the course of the day. That being said, game one is ready. Let's dive into the FNCS semifinals.
Game number one, loaded up the semifinals, day number one. We're going to have 4 more matches after this. There's currently 50 of the best teams in Europe lined up, and we're starting things off already with Thomas HD, similarly to qualifier number 1.
We're starting it off a little bit hot, though. There we go. Heavy shotgun in his hands, but Tayson's the one that's missing. We never see that this early. I mean, we expected some hairy situations off spawn, but even Thomas can go down too fast. Another shot missed. Vino and Joe are the ones to reign things over in the first game.
That's surprising, right? Because this is almost exactly the same thing we saw in qualifier number 1. It was like a 50-50 off, but Vino and Joe ended up dipping out in the cars. This time they've fully committed, and this is going to set them up, right? This is the drop spot that players are going to be going to get those double launch pads from the vault.
This is crazy. You ever hop in a car, at home trying to go to work and end up going just 200 miles per hour? Because I was trying to get into, the nuance of it. Reese, trying to talk to you a little bit, pick your brain about what to expect today. But these players, they are just hot off the press, off this first game.
Yeah, and this is something right now that you're looking at inside the Bugle that I thought I would never see in my life, right? 4 teams contesting a single POI. You've got to think, like, what's the game plan? What's the strategy? Notice, firstly, that Aqua went down by not landing on that main side. He usually lands on the far west-hand side. But he actually also accidentally leaked his drop map on stream once. So clearly the players are taking advantage of that at the moment, pushing them down below, and it's not paying advantage in that first game. I wouldn't be totally worried because Aqua and Noah really are obviously game winners, hype players at the same time. So maybe, the next couple games, maybe even the reboot can come off as well.
Possibly. The big thing about these games is that you can really push yourself forward all the way even into game 5. Everyone has a chance to qualify. You just need to get that win. That being said, people playing with that winner's mentality versus the consistency mentality, you might see a lot of differences in play styles and the game, the pacing. So far, Splash is going to be walking in with his teammate. Lots of shots all the way across the map, but nothing actually confirming for these guys. Aqua is down. Noah Riley gets to get away. That's nice. We'll tune in with Andretta as well, who's having some trouble. Unfortunately, his teammate's down too.
Yeah, we saw Noah Riley try to dip away, but he can see in the map in the bottom right that he's just coming across 2 other teams at the same time. And you got to try and figure out here, where are we going to reboot? What are we going to try and do? Where are we going to try and go? Moving back over to Sleepy Sounds, as we mentioned. This fight's getting a little bit scrappy.
Yeah, Flois. We'll be spectating this one. 1v1 all the way over at Sleepy. You'll expect a lot of contestation all throughout the day. Andretta, no mats available at all. Skyzoo is going to be the one to win off this time.
Yeah, I'm thinking what's going to happen here on the north side, because in Sleepy Sounds, Trulex and Chico are up there uncontested. They had a rough couple of, let's be real, fights in the early game and in the mid game when it came to the qualifiers. That would have been the perfect time for them to third party in, push on into the north side of Sleepy, but seem to not have taken advantage of that so far, so maybe that's something they're going to try in later.
It feels like a lot of teams right now are kind of frazzled and rattled off spawn. Kind of surprised by not only the frequency of players, the amount all the way around the POI, but what do you even do next, right? There's a lot of stragglers around now, Race. These solo players can have a lot of impact when they're kind of by themselves looking to clutch up, in between POIs.
I mean, if you're a solo, you're just trying to do what you can, right? You're trying to find any loot. Hopefully you've managed